What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to this multi-time frame forecast. We're going to be going over USD Swiss franc. And before we get started, I want you guys to do one thing, and that's just like the video. Not only does it really support us, but it does give others the opportunity to see the videos and potentially scrape away some pips as well. We had spoke about CAD, Japanese yen. I just want to give you a quick recap on that yesterday, and it's already in profit heading towards TP1. But right now, we're going to focus on USD Swiss franc and we get straight into it. So we've already done analysis on this pair in the past. You could go check out the video, but quickly I'll just show you what we were looking at. So as always, we go to the monthly time frame line chart and identify critical areas of structure, whether it be support or resistance, or a combination of the two. We're going to be looking at critical areas of structure that are relative to where price is at or where it could potentially be going. Go to the line chart, and we're going to be looking at some pattern identification right here. So for this particular pattern, we were focusing primarily on the weekly, as far as the pattern goes. But as far as fibs and structure goes, you can see we had some monthly structure right here, initiated, tested again. But because it was significant on the monthly and tested several times and confirmed, we were considering that this area was going to be potential support. In addition to that, we have a descending trend line as well. Now, if we take a fib extension of or a retracement of this particular leg, we can see it aligned with this 38% as well. So we had structure, trend line, and fib, plus this downward momentum that broke past already this area of structure. So we're going to be looking for shorts on this time frame, just waiting for a healthy retracement to have an entry. So if we go down to the weekly time frame, what we are saying here is the extension of the previous leg. Oh, excuse me. Was going to be the take profit or a pivot point for this particular leg down here. Since we do have this downward momentum with this descending trend line, initiated, tested, and then confirmed right here, we see that we have downward momentum, and we did break past this area of structure. So we were using the previous leg on the weekly time frame to get another potential pivot point for us. And this one actually aligned with some structure on the monthly time frame as well, which also aligned with this 127 fib extension of the previous leg. So remember, if you always get information on a leg, you need to take the fib or the extension of the previous leg. So in this instance, we were trying to get information on this particular leg right here. Um, so, oops, let's go back to this. Let's go back to the monthly time frame real quick, just to kind of highlight everything else. Now, based on the target structure, if we were to hit this 38%, we were going to be looking at just another extension of this descending trend line, and that's going to be at this 127 fib level, which also does align with some structure here as well. So you can see that area of structure was a previous low. Um, Not as significant. We do on the higher time frame see some patterns coming on right here, but basically this is what we had set up. So now we can start looking at some potential entries and a potential short-term trades. So we can see we are starting to create a little range right here, which we had already marked up previously. We're still looking for some shorts overall, but right now, since this area of structure is significant, we could be looking at short-term buying opportunities as our on our way up towards our shorting opportunity, which is long-term. So we have two trade setups right here, and just real quickly, want to show you why we have our stop loss right here. It's just slightly above this 50%, which is above structure as well. Now for this range, because we have already tested or created a reversal zone, we're likely going to be, which we're started already, testing this area as support. So if we go down to the lower time frames, we can start looking for some patterns and some buying opportunities. Uh, so we can see a potential harmonics formed right here, with not the best fib extensions or fibs, but still a harmonics pattern. We can see that we already made it to the neckline, which is relatively short, but we have this descending trend line in addition to this pattern, in addition to some structure, which is telling us we do have a safe buying opportunity being presented. Oops. So let's just set that up accordingly. So what I'd like to see is something like this, where we get like a reverse head and shoulders going on basically, and just breaking through this particular line right here because we can see that it is a descending trend line, possibly something even as simple as this, just breaking out of this trend line and confirming that this is going to be support at least for the short term. So we can put up our buying opportunity right here. We're going to keep our stop relatively tight. Let's delete this, and I want to tidy this up just a bit. Okay. One more thing. Oh. Okay, so this is kind of what we're looking at right here. Um, we'll just mark it up real quick. We're gonna have support, and this is gonna be monthly time frame, and then we'll do harmonics at daily, and then was there another thing that we were looking at? I think this was it. Oh, it was also the extension, 120 percent extension, and that was on the weekly. Okay, so this is USD Swiss franc. We have harmonics pattern, possible buying, short-term buying opportunity as we wait for our long-term shorting setup. Risk parameters are going to be a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio, and just make sure that you guys are confirming this area of structure and make sure that your entry conditions are satisfied prior to entering. So just real quick, we can see that we did just briefly transition into a buying environment. So all we have to do right now is just wait for a proper entry zone, which is going to be better if you wait a little bit longer. But if you're afraid of missing out, you're just going to have less risk to reward ratio. But it's still pretty good. I think you'd still have at least a 1 to 2. Anyways, hopefully you guys are learning something from this and taking away some tips as well. Be sure to make sure for confirmations and use proper risk as always. I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment down below. Don't forget to like this video, and I'll talk to you guys later.